I believe we are live. Hello there, folks. How you doing? It's Eric Jose Eric Close here, I guess. Close. Anyways, I'm just having a little fun. But anyways, how's everybody doing? We're here today with Millbillie and Linda. Hi, guys.
Hi, how are you? Armchair gumshoe.
You like that? Hey.
I like it.
You know, humble beginnings, gumshoe. Anyways.
Yep.
So before we get into talking about the video today, there's a couple things I want to mention. Number one, the folks over at Eagle Nation are going to be offering their own line of, Michael Funk and $50 million Bullet clothing line, shirts, hoodies, and all that sort of stuff.
That's great. Yes, definitely going to get them.
And I have permission to go ahead and sell some special edition stuff on our Zazzle store for the Wrecking Crew members, where it'll be like this, and it'll say the Wrecking Crew on the front.
Right on.
Right there. And then on the back, it will have a picture of Michael Funk, as you can see here.
I love it.
That's what they look like. And then we're gonna do shirts and hoodies as well for Wrecking Crew members to pick up. For those who intend to be around next year for a rally and stuff and want to have the identifier of the Wrecking Crew on your attire. It's up to you. Yep. There you go. So we're gonna be offering a couple of things like that. But wanted to make everybody aware they're also offering it over at Eagle Nation. So if you guys want to get it right from them, that's the official merchandise there. So just keep that in mind. I'm
getting both.
So these things are cool, but I got permission today that we could put it up on the Wrecking Crew store. So that's one of the cool things. Anyway, so we're here today and we're going to start out by talking about Colburn's lawsuit. Now we all remember last time I talked to Travis and everything. Travis was talking about how most of the time when something like this happens, where they've made this many errors in their filing, it generally gets dismissed. Well, it didn't happen. They are actually allowing Greaseback and Colburn to refile their complaint, I guess, to amend it and refile it. So that's interesting. So we'll see where that all ends up leading to. But what I think is interesting about it is the fact that if it had been an Avery, or let's say somebody from Eagle Nation who had filed something incorrectly in that court, I guarantee you they probably wouldn't have gotten the chance to
throw it out,
fix it and amend it and everything. I'm sure it would have gotten thrown out immediately if it was from somebody who isn't Michael Greaseback and Andrew Colburn.
Yep. Right.
Just my thought.
Isn't that tied into the Manitowoc, county system there? That little clique they got going on there. Yep. I've heard it called a lot of things, but to me now it's now a little clique. You can't get in that.
Yeah. Hi, Sonny B. Good to see you. New to the channel, so good to see you. Stick around.
That's for you, Sharon.
But yeah,
you can go to bed now.
it's damn odd, obviously, that they get another try. And another thing, folks, it is still not lost on me the fact that who was responsible back in 2003 when Stephen was getting released and the information was being compiled to send to the Attorney General's office, and Michael Greaseback and Mark Rohrer specifically left out all of the information about Colburn, the call he received, and what did he call it? He called it just what do you call it? He didn't want to call it a report. He called it I filed something. He was trying to minimize
a message,
right? But it doesn't matter. He was basically describing the call he got in 1998, 96, whatever it was. And so he was describing that call. I mean, he remembered 8 years later, the day after Stephen Avery gets out of prison, and he wants us to believe that he didn't know who that call was about.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the amount of stupidity of what he expects people to believe that is really bizarre with him. But so he's anyways, he's clearly been dishonest and all that sort of stuff. So it just bothers me that when he's left out of all that information that was sent to the Attorney General's office by Michael Griesbach
right,
and Mark Rohrer, and Michael Griesbach is now the guy who's representing him.
Yeah,
that's very. I mean, that doesn't seem. Yeah, those don't seem like two separate random things.
No,
that seems like there's something very specific going on.
Right.
There.
How can you be, against what he did in the Stephen Avery case, and then turn around and in the Stephen Avery case say that, and you're okay now? I mean, oh, let me represent you. You were just totally.
Well, not only that, but
it comes from him having that suit that Colburn even looks like he's done, doing
but
something
he was
wrong
even covering for Colburn.
Right.
I mean, by not sending that information to the AG's office, he was
having his back.
Obviously criticizing the department, but he was, I guess, showing some favoritism to Colburn, which is odd. And then to now see him to have become Colburn's attorney, to me, it's just like, that's,
it is. I think it's ironic that he could be, having him be one of the players in what went wrong with Stephen, and then have him being one that's correct in what's going on wrong with Stephen. Two different, time periods, and it's just strange to me.
Attorneys on the property on the 5th.
Yeah, that's crazy. He was.
Yeah. So it's bizarre that I just feel strongly that if this was a motion that came from, say, an Avery or anybody who didn't have a lot of clout and didn't have a lot of wasn't a big wheel, I guess, there in the area, and would they have gotten the opportunity to refile? Would they have gotten the chance to basically a do-over?
Probably not.
I'd have to vote no.
Yeah. You can tell in that court hearing that the judge is friends with everybody.
Yeah.
They start talking about a former prosecutor that's not around anymore because he's no longer with us.
Right. And then says right to him, don't worry, it's not that you're less than him. I'm sure you're very good yourself. We just miss him. I mean, so yeah, kind of buddy. It's all a clique, they all kind of watch out for each other.
All working.
That's what I keep saying. People keep saying, "Oh, there has to be a huge conspiracy." Nope, it really doesn't. Most of them are just following suit with what was planted. They're not really questioning it. Even if they have questions about it, they're not questioning it.
No.
There's a brotherhood.
Yeah, they're just keeping up with their little brotherhood. Exactly.
Right.
And it's like I say, I don't necessarily hold that against them. I know having that kind of a brother hat is necessary sometimes in law enforcement, but they sometimes use it in bad ways, in the wrong way. They use it to cover their butt instead of, to cover their butt with the public instead of using it to cover their butt when they're going into a dangerous situation. See, there's two different kind of scenarios of how they use it. And it's when they're going into a dangerous situation and they're closing ranks like that, okay, got it. I'm 100% on board.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about just trying to hide stuff from the public and you're closing ranks, I'm not so on board.
Yeah.
They might not think it's weird though, finding a key, them or their officer friends. They're gonna say, hey, you know what? They're here. They took the oath like us, so I'm gonna have to stand by them. I didn't see it. I just take it for that's what it was.
Just like when Queso and Wisconsin State Patrol or DCI agents are interviewing all the Avery and Dasseys.
They're what?
When they're interviewing Earl and Chuck and them, they all bring up the fact that it's all planted. They don't want to hear none of that.
Yeah.
Right.
They keep telling them, well, we're not Manitowoc. We're Calumet. We're not Manitowoc. We're Calumet.
Yeah.
but you guys all know each other.
Mhm.
Right.
I mean,
Right. I
just
mean,
the Marie Avery incident that happened in 04. Why was why Candy reports it to Manitowoc, but it's transferred to Calumet? And why is that case not available to FOIA?
Right. Yeah.
what do you think? I mean, how is Colburn going to even prove that this, you know what I'm saying, what he's saying? I mean, that they left things out to make him look bad. I don't see it. I mean, read the transcripts. Like, didn't that judge say she's going to read the transcripts, right? Something like that or something. If you were reading from the transcripts, you will see that he makes himself look bad. There's no eyebrows did his own self in. I don't see how they could have left anything out to make him look bad or good.
Well,
And
it's claimed the way they edited it, because we don't have nobody's actually seen, unless you watch
right,
live on the news on the website
right,
when it happened. You really don't know
yeah,
what happened.
right.
I mean,
Well, you know, the news, you know, I just
all
see that.
you can find all kinds of news reports about it. That's about it.
Right.
But news is biased as hell, for one.
Yeah.
And
A
wouldn't
lot
you
of
use
it
a
there is,
defense?
yeah.
Wouldn't you use a defense of, hey, we had, you know, making a murderer too. You could have came on down and spoke your piece. We invited you to do so. You chose not to. So, I mean, wouldn't they use that as a defense? Because, hey, you know, you did have an opportunity to come on there and speak your piece. And it was before you did this lawsuit. So, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that would be a pretty good defense. Look, dude, you had a chance to get on there and make it right for yourself. Why didn't you do that?
Yeah. And why,
I mean,
of all the officers, why is it only him?
exactly. Well, yeah, I wonder that too. Unless they're just retired and don't give a crap, they think, "Hey, I'm retired now. Nothing's going to happen to me." You know, Fassbender's in Arizona being a mall cop, and you know, I mean, that's kind of funny. But
Pointing out, she's saying, I want to know who's funding Colburn's lawsuit.
yeah,
Costs money. Who is paying?
Yeah.
Because,
yeah,
and the other side of it is what, you know, what if this does go to discovery? I mean, that's going to open up Colburn
yeah,
and everybody,
right,
anybody that he's, you know, talking about in his complaint to depositions. And that means Netflix and the filmmakers' lawyers are going to be able to grill him.
Yep.
You know, and so that's going to be another interest. And they're plowing forward with this. So this is very interesting.
It could be really good, beneficial. So, hey, you know what did you say the other day? You either lie or what is it? Where you either you flip or you're what was it?
Flip or slip is one thing. That's what the pressure we're putting up.
Yeah. So maybe he's flipping in a way that might benefit him, but really not. I mean, you never know. He could be like, "Hey, this could be a good thing, man. Open it up and let everybody see it." You know, kind of like putting his foot in his mouth.
Yeah.
You know, he don't really realize what's going to happen. Not long thought about, you know, what could happen, you know, by doing what he's doing.
Right.
You know, there's no long-term thought in that, because if they do go to that and they start reading them that stuff, he's gonna look like he, you know, did something. Although I don't agree with any of that death threats and any of that kind of stuff that happened to his family. I truly don't believe in that. Nothing like that.
I have no doubt that he probably did receive some harsh treatment like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I absolutely
even
condone that from supporters.
The Manitowoc
I don't
Police Department was getting bomb threats, and they had nothing to do with either of the cases.
That's crazy.
Sheriff's Department.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just crazy to me. I don't condone that at all. I think anybody who does that is a little bit over the edge. I don't, you know, I mean, you got to think about that kind of stuff, threatening somebody's life. That's that's just not where it's at. So I mean, that's got to be scary. But other than that, I mean, what's he gonna prove? I mean, he's gonna look like he was shady.
Yeah.
Well,
in the long run.
Have you seen all the email correspondence between Manitowoc sheriffs and all the reports they're getting? Like Greg Shedder, he talks about somebody claiming to be from the FBI called in to Manitowoc saying they were doing an investigation, but I don't know. There's just so many strange things that happen.
Yeah.
What towards the threats of Colburn and what the decision was after trial?
just an apartment in a hole.
Oh, after trial.
I think this was before the trial.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I don't know. Listening to those calls.
I have to go look at. Well, these are emails.
Yeah, but just the call
judge
itself.
also wants to know how involved Netflix actually was in the production.
Well, when Lauren there brought, they had 3 episodes already edited and ready. So when Netflix took it upon them, they were a part of the other 17 episodes.
Right. So they just broke them down into it. Netflix did.
Well, they helped edit the last 7 videos.
Right.
Shows for that season 1.
Right.
Because when Lauren them brought it to Netflix, they already had 3 shows
uncut,
ready to go.
Well, unedited, right?
Yeah. So
because that's what I heard.
Well, that's why the judge said there's conflicting statements from both parties, and there's no other way to solve this out is to either throw it out or have an evidentiary hearing.
And she wants to hear it. Well, she wants to let them file again, right? Mm-hmm. She's allowing them to file again. So we still have to wait to see what she says.
Like both sides make great points during their rebuttal and everything.
It was interesting.
Yeah.
It was interesting to listen to.
I wanted to plug this before I forget. Hey, everybody, we're trying to get Stacy up to 1,000 subscribers. He's real close. He's like, I don't know, he's within like 20 of 1,000. Oh. So, Finn's been on me about it, and she wants to get him there because we've kind of got him to agree that when he gets there, he'll do like a live little concert deal from his channel. So just want to remind everybody, if you haven't already gone over there to Stacy's channel and checked it out and subscribed, please do.
26 away.
Yeah. So
I'll tweet. I did Paul's last 4. I put up a tweet and I put it on Facebook. Next thing you know, he was boom, boom. I was like, okay, that's good.
Got to 1,000 here recently.
Yep.
He was just telling me today.
Millbillie's up there.
Last night when we were talking, he's at like 1,008 now. He's steadily growing. So.
Yep. It's good. Okay, we'll tweet him out. Tweet him out, get him panned, get him up there. Subscribe to Stacy. We all
I'll have a link there for you folks in a second in the live chat. Yep. Where's Travis at? Where's that fool?
Went to go get his hammy.
Yeah, his ham sandwich.
And speaking of Finn and Travis, she just put out her new 80 more things today. Yeah. So Finn, get on there and
Finn and Julie
listen
over there.
Yep.
Did just put out a new one today with the guy I just mentioned, Travis Ham Sandwich Williamson.
Hammy sandwich.
Mr. Sweaty Balls.
Yes, Mr. Sweaty Balls.
He says he carries a hammy and some sweaties.
That's how he keeps the judges agreeable, maybe. Keeps them from getting grumpy, getting hangry. He's like, here's some sweaty balls, Judge.
Yeah, it was I listened to it right away. As soon as it came out, I was, gotta listen. Oh boy, here we go. Haver. He wins the award.
So, but the best part is that Travis was supposed to get a commercial for his sweaty balls this year. He was supposed to do the voiceover for it. I think Travis ended up not being able to afford to pay for that because he was busy paying for something else. So, anyways,
Travis is a good guy.
Yeah, he's all right.
I know.
I've seen him in one chat, but he's not here. It's like, God, what a punk. Anyway.
Yeah, he listens. He's a lurker.
Right?
He's in the background.
Can we watch the trial? You mean the trial, not the trail, right? But anyway, as far as I know, you can't because there's a Wisconsin media outlet there that controls it, and they won't release it.
I was surprised that I even got that audio clip.
Yeah, I have the ones I've gotten too. I'm surprised. It's W Bay, isn't it? W Bay.
I think it may be. That's the Green Bay affiliate.
Channel 2.
Yeah, Channel 2 WBAY News. Green Bay.
Yeah, Green Bay. Yeah, they're pretty on their stuff there. They don't. Well, it was on court TV, right? Correct. They did film it on court TV. That's what I heard.
I know
I don't know.
the Lynn K was all over the internet. I watched that play out in real time.
Right.
As far as the Colburn, no.
Well, when she gets her new one, I'm going to be in Manitowoc. I'm going to be right there. I'll rent an apartment. I'm going to go to the court trials. I'm going to go. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And it's coming up soon. So, it's not too much longer, 2 more months, right?
When I'm going this year, I'm going for longer.
That's good. You need more than
into a weekend anymore. Screw that.
No, it's too much. Too much. You got to go to the rally, Millbillie.
I wanted to last year, but I had 2 friends die. Well,
that's right.
My friend Aaron died that Tuesday before the rally, and my friend Rebecca died the night before.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it was just
unfortunate. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
But,
speaking of which, rest in peace, John.
yeah, I'm basically trying to make it where I leave like on a Thursday night, get the boss to let me have a Friday off in addition to the rest of the other week. But or if not, leave Friday night, have an entire weekend plus a week plus another weekend. So it's like I'm trying to make it 9 days basically.
Yeah, and you'll be a little bit more relaxed. You'll be able to party a little bit more. You have to jam it all in.
I got 3 days. I'm there for 3 days, and it's like I'm always trying to cram everything in, and I didn't. Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't even get to go do anything with Mark Hodnott this year.
I know he's sat there at the buffet.
Nation and everything else, dude. Like me and Mark didn't get to go hang out. I was like bummed. So.
Thank you, Ben.
But yeah, so I don't know. I think that's interesting. Colburn's lawsuit. I just, as I was saying, I think if it was anybody else, if it was Eagle Nation, if it was Avery's, it was.
Yeah.
Question is
that thing gets immediately booted out. That's it.
Next trial for his lawsuit going to happen before the state responds to Zellner or after?
Yeah.
Well, I would say probably after, but only because, like I said, if they refile their motion and the judge allows this to go forward, then discovery has to take place.
Mm-hmm.
That takes a little time.
Yeah.
So,
well, also I've heard that Colburn wants this to keep going until they do find out about Zellner, because if he has this going on, he can't be involved in anything else. They can't question him or anything about
I don't know
in the trial.
I think
that's what I'm asking you.
I'm pretty sure the criminal case would trump this lawsuit.
That's what I'm asking. I'm asking. That's what I heard.
Anything that the Netflix lawyers and all them that they find out in the course of this, they can hand it over to Zellner. That's why everybody was like, even Zellner made the joke in the beginning when he filed. She's like, oh, great. Yeah. We're going to get all these guys in the depositions. Perfect. Thank you, Andrew Colburn. It's like, you gotta wonder what is it he's thinking. What are they thinking is going to happen here? Unless it's they plan to have favorable judges.
Maybe he needs money for his defense.
He's going to have a fund soon, a GoFundMe.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I never put it together like that, thinking that, if he goes through this, they're really going to, they're going to have to open that all up and everything. That's pretty interesting to me because it's really going to show a lot to them.
Both sides are going to find out everything they can find out.
Yeah.
And they're going to be able to question everybody they want to question. And if people resist that, they're going to be found in contempt of court.
Yep.
So, I mean,
well, I don't think it doesn't look so good for Colburn, but it could look very possibly really good for Steven, Brendan, and Zellner.
Yeah.
That would be really nice.
Oh yeah.
Let somebody else do the work a little bit, discover some more things, because they're hiding things.
I want the agents involved in this saying stuff. Come on, say stuff and pin yourself down. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Talk. Let's hear it.
Yeah. Start getting nervous and start talking. Talk in the wrong cafe.
I'm like, yep. Come on, Kratz. Keep it coming, buddy.
Yeah.
Come on, buddy.
He does usually
to get on camera and talk to us. Come on, man. Come on. Let's do it.
It
doesn't work. He wouldn't get on camera, but
I'm sure he wouldn't. He would never come on one of our channels and talk to us about anything. He don't
I've been
barely
on
even
his channel.
answer you.
Kept uploading all those videos. I'm like, dude, when are you going to get on camera, man? Talk to us.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. He just puts words in there, and you know what? It's like he told the truth in his book. His book is all about the truth. Well, then why do you have to add 2 chapters? And why do you say the stuff you say about Brendan? And you know what I mean? First, you're saying that you think he should have, he should get out. He's done enough time, this and that. I mean, there's so many different things coming out of his mouth. Which one do you mean? I mean, he drives me crazy.
Doesn't know the truth, so he can't tell the truth.
No, when you have a lie this big, it's hard to keep track of what you've said, done, and at all time, unless you are recording yourself, writing it down, or have memorized it, totally.
Yeah,
it's too hard.
So I encourage people to keep engaging with Kratz and try to get him to talk.
But do it with class, folks.
Yes.
I don't like he has the ability to complain that supporters are evil and nasty people, and he has a screenshot of somebody saying something pretty damn nasty. Don't give him that ammunition. Do it because you can do it with the facts. You can put the facts in his face and watch him scramble to try and deal with those facts, or basically change the subject to something else, so that you can see the proof of the way that he doesn't want to deal with a direct question, and focus on that stuff, folks.
Yep.
Not less of the insults, more of the substance. And,
it's like when Dateline does that interview with him, and they question him like, "Okay, you went there to look for DNA, but did you look for prints?" And he's like, well, I don't have the in front of me, so
they were looking for DNA. That's what he said. I remember. He's like, "Oh, they were looking for DNA.
They were looking for DNA."
Yeah.
Well, if you're looking for DNA, fingerprints is DNA. Sorry.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's DNA.
If you have enough fingerprints to be detectable, then you have enough DNA left there.
Exactly. Well, it's also considered DNA because it's markable to only one. Your fingerprints are yours, and nobody else has them. So it is a form of DNA.
Swab the door handle. They didn't swab the hood release.
Nope.
They went in there for one, it's very apparent why they went after Brendan, and they were successful.
Right.
Yeah.
I find it really funny. I mean, I watched the show a million times, but I never really clicked on the part when they said, well, I didn't have a bedspread. I don't think I had any bedding. That part never hit in my head when Sherry Colleen said that, but I'm like, this is supposed to happen in a bedroom. What do you mean you don't have any bedding?
If you hear these calls with Jody when they're talking about, she was like, so where are these sheets you supposedly burned? Because we only have 2 bed sheet sets, one blue, one black, and I got one blue here and one black here, and the other ones are up in crivets. So we still have our bedding. So what are they talking about?
Right.
Yeah. I don't, I mean, come on, none of it makes sense.
It never has fit, and they knew that. That's why they were hounding everybody they could, trying to, do what they could to sully Stephen Avery's name.
Right.
They were going after Jody. Folks, the final interview with Jody is truly a disturbing thing, where they are like really prying in to her and Stephen's sex life, and how much did you guys have sex, and so she tells him, and she answered, and it's a lot. I mean, they liked getting it on. I mean, you know what I mean? And so Mark Wiegert immediately thinks, oh, well, didn't that hurt you? Like he's immediately trying to make everything about how it's Stephen abusing her.
Was he in control and made you do this?
No, I was into it too. We were,
exactly.
He's just, and that's, like I said, that was the last interview she did with them where she was like, that's it, I want to talk to those guys.
Well, the biggest thing that stood out for me during that interview was when they asked her about the blazer fire.
Yeah.
That was twice.
A little bit, and right before they're done.
Yeah, so you don't know why that was stolen.
Why
on fire.
Even interrogation on the 9th, you see them all walk into the room. Brendan Dassey's March 1st interrogation, you see them all walk into the room. Jody, they're already sitting down. And they mentioned Jody says they were showing her letters. We don't see any of that stuff for them showing her letters. So Did the person that uploaded it, did they leave the first part out, or was that the way it was given to them? Because there's some things don't like the Birds and Dassey part 1. It's edited.
Yeah.
Right.
From 11:47 to 12:26 is gone, and that's the whole part where he says who shot her in the
It's
head.
edited in more places than that. I mean, I remember I used to get mad at how much that thing would skip, but I figured that's the way it came from the state.
2 or 3 seconds, 10 seconds.
That channel, that particular channel it was on was the channel of somebody who I know believes at least Stephen to be guilty. I believe the person also believes Brendan is guilty, but
basically
I believe it's a guilters channel, and so it wouldn't have made sense to me that they would have been in any way favoring it or editing it in favor of Brendan or Stephen. So that is interesting. I just figured that's the way it came from the state.
Well,
it's so hard to tell.
I put the missing part back in, so
yeah, right on.
It's just too hard to tell because everything is just like when you got one sketchy thing, everything else is sketchy. It just you can't help but question every single thing.
Well, the copy of the missing part I got, it's very poor audio, and the video doesn't match up with their words, so there's kind of a delay. So I don't know.
Okay. Jennifer Tyler, yes, they were. Well, that's what I was basically getting at. Is as they were doing that to Jody.
It was Marie first.
Marie first, yeah.
Marie, then Jody, then Brendan.
Right. As they were putting pressure on her with talking about her sex life, all that other stuff we were just covering. When she told the jail not to let them back in and all that sort of stuff, they then turned their sights on the Dassey boys and focused on Brendan, and that's when they hemmed Brendan into the coerced confession that they eventually fed to him. So yeah, that's the way that went. So, and as they're saying, started with Marie, then went to Jody, then to Brendan.
And just like everybody they interview, like Tammy Weaver, for instance, they go talk to her about her telling Stephen the car got put there. They spend a couple. Well, if you read I want to know. There's got to be audio interviews for all these people. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, what happened to all them people that they were going to go talk to?
48 hours, every crime show I watch, they always got a mini tape recorder with them. It's like when they walk in the room with Brendan, they tell him, "Okay, we can shut this recorder off because the room's being recorded."
Right.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
They also mentioned multiple times that we reviewed the tapes, we reviewed our notes from the Fox Hills incident, but they claim that the recording. So what are they talking about?
Yeah. What notes? Where are them notes?
Did you review?
Right.
Where's the report on that? Where's the notes on that? Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's
what I want to know. Just like I'm bringing pizza to the jurors and, having family members that belong to, the officers of the, to the Manitowoc officers.
They tell Jody that they know Stephen did this by himself. So when she refused to talk to him, why do they go after Brendan?
Oh, that brings up something.
I know. I got to ask. Like we all know, Brendan's confession is what allowed them to, basically sway public opinion.
Even his jail call is why they went after Brendan. They're listening to his call. She says multiple times that on 31st,
they're using it against him.
Brendan was over there. He even tells Barb, like, if I did this, your son's responsible too because he was with me the whole night.
Right. Well, I got a question. Brendan was convicted on murder, rape, and mutilation, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, don't the bones belong part of his defense too?
They're part of what convicted him, yes.
Okay, so couldn't he also use them giving away biological evidence in his...
Potentially, but you have to...
Okay.
Just like the way Stephen's trying to use it to prove that it proves that the bones didn't start in his fire pit, that it shows that the bones started elsewhere. That's really key to Stephen's trial because that's how the state proved him guilty.
Okay.
In Brendan's trial, it's a little bit different.
He admitted to it.
The way that the state proved him guilty was through his own admission.
Right.
So
So
it's
the
a little
bones
tricky.
wouldn't do him no good.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
little trickier.
the bones really wouldn't do him no good unless they weren't Teresa's,
Unless
correct?
they weren't Teresa's, then that would, yeah. 'Cause
Right.
then all this would have been with a unknown victim.
Right.
That would have, yeah, that certainly would
Right.
have created enough.
Because otherwise, yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out. If they weren't hers, then it would help Brendan. But if they're hers, he pretty much said they put him in the fire. So, you know, or seeing toes.
After watching some of these news reports right after they arrested Stephen, they're interviewing some lady, and she says, well, there's a lot of missing person cases. She brings up Lori Deppis and says maybe they should look to see if he's responsible for that too. Stephen Avery was incarcerated when Lori Deppis went missing. So, and Lori Deppis is even brought up in Queso.
Wow.
Schneider. He says you should look into it because you
got other missing girls around at the time.
I've always wondered that. How many missing girls have there been, you know, and since that even kind of fit, you know, because you don't hear about it.
Though, unless you're a child, it's really not worried about it. If you're an adult,
until you find you.
And the fact that the community, like neighboring counties, they don't really communicate with each other. Like if there was a serial killer on the loose, they don't want to let that out.
Well, they say to find a killer, you need to have victimology down pat. You know what I mean? You need to know what kind of victim, you know, he's had, what they do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, you know, I was just wondering, is there any other cases that are like that have been unsolved or, you know, gone missing since this that are similar, you know, young 25-year-olds who have their own business or whatever, you know, I mean, I don't know how they would classify it, but I'm sure people have checked into it. I just was thinking that the other day, though. I was like, I wonder how many other missing women cases that they just gave up once they found a car. Find a car, let's not look no more. I mean, we have no idea what's in there because believe me, it was locked. We couldn't see nothing. So therefore, we don't know if there was any, you know, if her body's even in there. So, you know, let alone any blood, you know, how they stop that is just a little too much for me. You shouldn't be stopping to look for somebody just because you found a vehicle that has absolutely no proof of anything. They constantly in the news, they've been saying, well, they found blood in front of Stephen Avery's dryer washer. They shouldn't have been allowed to say that because they don't know whose blood it was.
Yeah.
They made it look like it was Teresa's and Teresa's blood on the door handle. And it was Stephen's blood. So, you know, they're poisoning the people by saying that. They shouldn't be allowed to say that.
Yep.
It bothered me because it just made it look like more and more evidence, even when they were talking to Stephen, well, they found blood in your bathroom. Well, he explained it. Okay. But when you're on the news is saying that to the public, there's no explanation for that. There's just, oh, it must be her blood if they got it in the bedroom and you know, and then there's a key and then there's a, you know, the car and, you know, all this stuff there. Of course, the public is going to say that. I've said it before and I'll say it again. If you sat and watched the news and you didn't know anything else, you would think he was guilty. The media made him guilty. You know?
Yeah, the media.
So,
where did the media get their information from? Law enforcement.
From the cops and and Ken Kretz, because he was the one that was having all the press conferences. He was the one that was allowed to say whatever he needed to say.
One of those press conferences, it's Jerry Pagel with Robert Herman sitting right next to him.
Yeah, I seen that.
We don't get to hear what he said, but I wish I mean, slowly I've been finding news reports on the internet, but it's rare.
The news is going to be a little bit on there. Make sure they don't have not going. You know what I mean? Come on, they do this selective media very well.
Well, a lot of those news reports that were happening during the time were uploaded to YouTube in 2016.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
After they released them and made sure they were okay to go.
We were all digging in, and everybody was looking for stuff, and they were uploading every news report. And yeah, definitely, yeah.
But it was also after they went through it and said, "Okay, well, we'll let this one out."
I remember eventually, somebody got a copy of the disc that Judge Willis had given all the jurors after the trial was over, so that it had all of the media coverage on it. and somebody had that and was releasing all that. I remember. So
Yeah, all the trial news coverage. Yeah,
It's really interesting to listen to them and listen to the calls and all that, because it's hearing them, and it puts you in that spot at that time and hearing everything that's going on. So I just find it really enlightening.
A lot of those calls with Dolores and Steven, they're watching the news together, so you can hear it. You can hear what's happening on the news.
Right.
Like it maybe like remember some of the things I've seen happen in real time back in 2005 and 2000.
Yeah, you lived it. Yeah. So
you can get away from it. It was on the news every single day, on the paper, everywhere.
And it was always Steven's guilty. I mean, when I listen to these reporters ask him questions, it's like they don't even want it. They're just hearing his answers. They don't believe a damn thing.
There were a few reporters that were biased or unbiased, and like Aaron Keller.
Aaron Keller, yeah, he's pretty good.
Internet Levy.
Yeah.
There's a few other ones.
Aaron Keller was pretty even-handed.
Yeah. Well, he's the one that interviews Stephen Avery and Krivitz.
Yeah.
And he's telling them, like, I was talking to people in the newsroom, and they're trying to say they found the car on Stephen Avery's property, and I had to tell them this is not Stephen Avery's property.
Yeah, he did kind of stick up for him there. This isn't his property.
Hey, Jamie, give that a good read, buddy. There you go.
Story never.
What's it say?
It says, "Cheers, Grinches." He's down there making fun of my Santa hat.
I like your Santa hat. You put it. You put that side on there for the guilters.
I did. Yeah.
Mike Hallbach's sister Katie also, I believe, works for the Green Bay Packers too.
Packers,
yeah.
Everybody in Wisconsin would work for the Packers if they could.
Ethan doesn't know. He didn't know that Mike worked for the Green Bay Packers. Yeah, he's head of video production or something.
Yeah. He's been working.
Fresh out of college, man. Let's get a job with the Green Bay Packers. How lucky can you get?
And I was all right. Tim Hallbach, he's an attorney. Did he have any kind of connections with Kratz?
I don't know.
I've never
Kratz
heard
has
of
connections all around town. And if I was anybody from Manitowoc or whatever, especially, he made you guys look bad. He's a pervert. He was doing some really illegal, rotten things to women and vulnerable women. And how could you even back anything he says? I mean, you know what I mean? I would wash my hands completely of that person.
We have all the cell phone data from Bobby Dassey and all them. And Teresa Hallbach, where all their cell phones pinged. Like, I don't know.
Jason Mount had a late retired cell phone tower.
Things don't make sense. And it's not.
Nothing makes sense.
It's not coincidence anymore. There's too many of those for it just to be a coincidence. Just failure. Like, reading queso, they tell you to refer to this report. You can't even see that report.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not one person. I don't put that stuff. Whoever does it, everybody who does all this, you getting the tapes, everybody else getting FOIA, all that. Thank you for people like me who don't do that. I read it and I learn from it and I appreciate it. Okay, that's all I can say. It's hard work. I have no idea how some of these people do this. They dedicate themselves to doing this, and it's marvelous, and I appreciate it. That's the only way I know about the case is through that. Hey,
there's Travis.
Hey there.
We're getting ready to wrap it up. Travis shows up.
Yeah. Yeah, to eat his hammy sandwich.
Yeah, we were talking about you. We were waiting for you to bring the ham sandwich, dude, but now, no
notification from YouTube. Well, there's other places that you get notifications, like
dude, like the chat I posted this in earlier. Anyway.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, anyways, I think we've had a pretty good chat here today and covered some good ground to keep it a little bit shorter so that it's easier for people to rewatch later. But no, I think we covered a lot of good things, and thank you guys for being here.
No problem.
Thanks for having us. Hope you feel better, Millbillie.
I hope you feel better, Millbillie.
Keep going, buddy. I like what you're doing.
Yeah.
Everybody does. We all appreciate it.
We're out of commission for the last couple of days.
Yeah. You look like you probably still need to be a little bit. So
Yeah,
just give
enjoy.
yourself
Go
some
take
rest.
some NyQuil and go to sleep.
And some
NyQuil
soup.
works great.
I got Dayquil, NyQuil, Theraflu, Mucinex.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go.
Campbell's chicken noodle. You'd be surprised. Anyway,
There you go.
I still got a whole bunch of ham I cooked yesterday. I gotta
There
eat.
you
I didn't even get to
How
eat
does Paul do it? He says goodbye, then he says goodbye.
oh,
No.
it's from a show there in Britain. Yeah, one guy says that's goodbye from me, and then the
It's
other guy
goodbye
goes
from
"That's
you,
goodbye from him. And
and it's goodbye from him.
yeah, so
We can't do Paul. He's one of a kind.
no, well,
Don't forget to subscribe to Stacy, guys.
yep.
Okay.
Go subscribe to Stacy, Paul if you haven't, Linda if you haven't, Millbillie if you haven't. All of everybody out there, go out there and support whoever it is that you like, this community that suits you best. I mean, get out there and show them your support, and let's keep the support for Stephen and Brendan going. Like I said, keep that pressure on, folks. The lawyers are doing their job. The lawyers are doing their job, keeping the pressure on. It's up to us to be doing our job here, paying attention, keeping the heat on the way we do by keeping our eyes on it. And like I said, flip or slip. We're looking for the flip or slip.
There's been a lot of info
And
coming
80
up.
more things. 80 more things with them.
I mean, the queso 2,000 something photos, the 644 Wisconsin State Patrol, all the dispatch calls, all these new jail calls, and there's more jail calls on the way.
All play.
We're getting Brendan's jail calls.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Interesting. All right, so there's
very interesting.
So
Hi,
keep
guys.
your eyes out. We'll have to get the Discord communities hopping again, checking out these calls and all this stuff, and analyzing it all again. So we'll have to start arranging that and getting that going. So, all right, guys, if you haven't already, please hit subscribe for me too, and we'll see you later.
Bye.
Good night.